welcome back. Capital Invest, DMV Investment Opportunities. I'm Reggie Riley.
It's Marcus Thomas.
Yep, and we are talking about why real estate, why DC, why us. When we left for a commercial break, we had just finished kind of talking about why real estate in general. Marcus touched on it's the foundation really to every successful person, right? They have real estate holdings. I talked about the differences between real estate and say like the stock market and the reason I prefer real estate. So now we're going to talk about why DC, because this is a vast country. You can invest in real estate everywhere.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that there aren't other good markets, right? But why not improve and invest where you live, right? Especially when there's a lot of opportunity here. Like my old tax accountant, he was the first person I know to really ever invest outside the area. He like bought something in cash in like Michigan.
Okay.
Property manager, he didn't know.
Right.
And never cash flow. It was always stuff coming up with the property that ate into his profits, and he would receive a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there.
Of course.
Then when he went to go sell it, of course it was worth less than what he paid for it.
Of course.
Right. So here, with all of the comps in the area, with all the realtors here, like it's not that difficult to ascertain like how much something is worth.
That's right.
So, but DC specifically, what's your take on DC, and why this market versus others?
So I had a stat that I heard the other day that I read, and I was trying to send you the link. I couldn't find it. That from 2011 to now, so post-boom to today, we've seen a 27% recovery or growth in this market.
Annual or total?
In total.
Okay.
In total. Now there's 27%. That doesn't mean it's come all the way back, but it's come back, and you can notice that there's certain areas where you don't see a house that in '09 that sold for way too much. They're not selling for that again. But now with the interest rates at a great rate, you know, certain people can buy again. Their credit is back to normal and things of that nature. People are making a lot more money. Unemployment is low because we have the government here. We have a good core government. We have military here, so jobs and income and things of that nature are plentiful here. And then they turn over every 4 years. So you can always see as administration changes, or they may stay the same with the president, but different cabinet changes and different senators and governors and things of that nature. So there are people always, a transient area, people coming and going. So there always is constant opportunity. So why not? Like that, again, it's answering the question with a question. We have consistent opportunity, always turning over. We have all these different programs, incentives for people to buy, so why not sell? And we always have people selling, so why not buy? If money is cheap, why not go get it? Why not borrow it? There was a Warren Buffett quote that I heard him say about the one thing he wished he would have did was the minute that mortgage rates went low is get a bunch of mortgages and not spend a lot of cash. And you talk about it all the time. If I can finance it, why not? That's why we got a ton. Like I always used to teach you, like that you're the king of paying mortgages. We finance everything.
Yeah.
Why not? If you can use somebody else's money to pay something off, and then especially if you can rent it out and somebody else pays it for you, you see a small dividend monthly, then over a period of time it's paid free and clear. Now you have a tangible asset that you own, that you borrowed somebody else's money, somebody else paid it back for you. In an area that you live in, you can touch it and see it, and you get the tax deduction, you get the tax shelter against your other influx of funds. Why not?
Right.
There's no other reason to not do it. As well as the opportunity to never have to worry about vacancies. I mean, how often? So
I was just about to touch on that.
So you definitely from a risk tolerance standpoint, you got to factor in vacancies. But you price it right, somebody's gonna always live there. But then we have the different government programs, veteran assistance, subsidized home from Section 8 and things of that nature. Then we have all these different nonprofits that want to offer housing to people. Like we just got so much here in this area. I mean, I can go on and on and on, man. Of just straight up opportunity.
Right.
So why not?
Right. So let me piggyback on that. from, you touched on the government, you touched on the military bases. I was sitting thinking about this last night. I forgot about the military bases.
Yep.
And those are all over the Beltway, right? And in the city.
Yep.
So you got the whole government contracting industry in and of itself.
Yep.
You know, we have that here. We got the tech corridors with 270,
Yep.
Northern Virginia.
Yep.
We got the casinos.
Got the casinos booming.
Yeah, yeah.
Who would have ever thought that would have happened the way that? I mean, you got MGM and then you got, what's that, Horseshoe and the other thing up in Baltimore.
Yeah, Horseshoe and Live.
And Live.
Yeah.
Booming.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought all three would have boomed?
Right. And then you got, they talk about Amazon. Right.
Coming up in Marlboro real soon.
That's a gangster. Yeah.
Real soon.
Yeah.
Up in Marlboro and Northern Virginia? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
So, just from an income perspective, people got to have somewhere to live.
You have to.
Right? When people go and work. And here, in and around D.C., I remember a stat, I have to look it up to make sure I'm speaking it correctly, but it was something like six of the highest income producing counties out of the top 10 in the country are like right here around D.C.
Yep.
And I mean, even Prince George's County from an income standpoint is just ridiculous.
Yep.
Right. So, so that's why DC. I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. I didn't have anything else. I mean, it's just abundance of opportunity.
Yep.
And there's still many pockets in this area where one house here is 300,000, and right across the street is 700,000.
That's right.
Right. So, or in downtown lovely Capitol Heights, might be 125,000. Fixed up across the street, 325,000.
Yep.
It's very rare you get that in such abundance in other markets, I believe, with stable values too. Like you don't have to really worry about like the decline just because of the income here.
But see, and that's the thing, and it's justified. Like people will ask us, well, how can you sell a house in Capitol Heights for $300,000? Well, it's a 2,500 square foot house. It's not a 800 square foot house. It's a big house.
Right.
Because if you take that same house and you put it in Bowie,
Right.
Upper Marlboro, or even the city, it's going to be twice as much.
Right.
Because it's just a big house. So you're really getting more bang for your buck in a lower valued area, because that's the beauty of living in a city. But when you're getting that bang for your buck, also is because you're more metro accessible, more accessible to the city, shopping, churches, things of that nature. Where else can you do that? That's
Right.
only in D.C., man.
Yep. You did make a comment the other day that you thought Atlanta was becoming like a mini DC.
Well, it is bigger, but yeah,
from a
from a
market
from a market standpoint. Yep.
Yeah. So that's DC, and now, but why us though? Why? I mean, I can get on YouTube and learn how to flip.
Yeah, we know people that do that. Man,
I mean, my uncle bought something and flipped it and made a killing. That's what he told me. I'm just gonna do what he did.
Okay, do that. And then when it turns out bad, then call us like everybody else does and try to figure out what happened. Here's the wildest, Reg. It's like this, man. I think it's because I look back to our first flip, downtown Capitol Heights, good old Larchmont Avenue. A project that I can look back now, if we actually bought that house today, we probably finished it in 2 weeks. Literally. Not to brag, we probably would finish it in 2 weeks. I look back at everything we did, it's probably a 2-week project. We probably get Steve and go in there and knock it out for us in 2 weeks.
Right.
After work, right? Then the next house we bought collapsed.
Yep.
And the house that collapsed took us less time than the house that we only had 2 weeks worth of work to do.
Right.
So our learning curve, we adapted to quickly. And then we even went to the national company, got some assistance, and we adapted that to here. So why us? Because we know what to do in our market. Like you said, we invest here, we live here. We adapted immediately what to do here. So that's why.
And we keep having to adapt.
Every day.
Like it's ridiculous.
Every day. Every day. We give you the ins and outs. We give ourselves the ins and outs. I mean, how many days we just stay outside, we in the office, standing at the window trying to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow?
Right.
Because something else happened today.
Yep. Something else happened today. Unforeseen. But
Yes.
next time it happens, it ain't nothing.
I mean, sometimes it ain't nothing when it does happen. What we're going to do, we can't cry about it. Just
Right.
gotta fix it.
So that speaks to the experience, and really to us like being through the fire.
Yes, sir.
So I kind of think about that old. I can't remember what it is. I think it's called like pathways or walkways or something. I should know this from my biblical stuff, but it's something like when you're walking in the sand and there's footprints, and it's like one set of footprints, and then Jesus is like, well, that's the time when I carried you. Like, I'm not saying that we are comparable to He.
Yeah, please don't.
But what I'm saying is, in real estate, it's always good to have somebody that'll walk with you,
Yes, sir.
carry you if need be.
Yep.
Yep, but hold hands all the time. So with that, we'll be right back.